Good day everyone, Loki here. Something that has been fascinating to me over the past little bit is how popular Crimson Desert has been on the internet. As somebody who has been following the project since 2019, when the project originally got announced as an MMORPG alongside LokiFM and Plan 8 by Pearl Abyss, it has been a long road. It has been a slow road, and as somebody who normally plays pretty much every MMORPG, obviously at the time I was extremely looking forward to Crimson Desert as the potential next MMORPG to play. And then at first there was news that the game had been turned into a co-op game, which was interesting. And then there was the news that it got turned into a single-player game. And now there are rumors that there might still be some kind of co-op thing in the future, but those are all rumors. There's nothing confirmed about that. I think it has undergone this very natural progression, and they have very much discovered that what they were trying to make wasn't gonna be the thing that they needed to make in the end. That is all to say that Black Desert Online was and is a game that they're trying to solve some issues with. And the way they're trying to solve those issues are kind of seen in Crimson Desert right now, which is quite fascinating to me. Last year, I made a video called Black Desert Online is Easy in 2025, and I feel like this video could be called Black Desert is Easy in 2026, but in reality, it's Crimson Desert, which is the natural update to Black Desert Online, which is kind of an interesting way of doing things. Something that BDO has been moving forwards to is to make things easier, more accessible, and let people see more parts of the world. Crimson Desert is that. There is no XP-based leveling inside of Crimson Desert, which some of you might hear that and be kind of horrified by that, because you might think that the only way to progress is to grind things out. If you come from BDO, you might think, how do you progress if there's no XP grinding? Or the BDO upgrade gambling of your gear. That's the thing with Crimson Desert. You don't have to have those systems to keep you playing a long time. Because of the nature of a single-player, single-purchase type of game, they can really focus on just making a good game without having to worry about all the fluff around it to keep you playing and coming back the day after day. Of course, it is a large game, and they would like you to play for very, very long, preferably, and then if there's ever some DLC to get you to buy the DLC, of course, or a Crimson Desert 2 when that comes out, but there's no reason to keep you in the game for an unlimited amount of time, like within Black Desert Online. And that means that they could just simply give you power, give you that very nice power progression, even power progression that goes way beyond what BDO is able to give you, with gameplay systems that have way less friction. They can put strong upgrades, like for example the ability to glide behind you solving a puzzle and getting onto a space island with a witch on there who just says, go jump off, Cliff, and then from then on you can all of a sudden glide. And just any kind of further exploration of anything can give you gear, can give you abilities, and it would all be fine because there's no other people, there's no PvP to keep in mind, there's no kind of balance that needs to be kept. It's just you in the single-player world with your 3 characters, as they have revealed, playing against the world or with the world in this sandbox RPG that they're making. From all the interviews that they've done and my personal expectation of Pearl Abyss, I do very much still expect this game to be a very gameplay heavy game, and the story will be cool, and I do think even BDO has a nice story, just nobody in general interacts with it, but I do think gameplay will take the front and center stage. Pretty much in every single interview, they have said that there will be a reason for you to keep exploring, keep playing in the world, and even in general that everyone who plays Crimson Desert will have a different experience from anyone else. You might go off into one direction while anyone else playing might go off into another direction. Kind of like we have seen in recent years with the Zelda games, where you can kind of go into any direction and you will eventually, of course, get to experience certain story beats, and it might be beneficial for you to experience certain story beats earlier so that you unlock certain abilities and make your exploration a little bit easier. There will still be a reason to do all the gameplay things like bounties or side quests, because they will all give you progression in the form of contribution to the area. Same goes for the liberation of enemy camps. Certain areas can get taken over by enemies, and then when you liberate those, the people that were originally there will return to that area. They will then unlock new things for you, be it shops, be it new side quests, or just be it the reputation that they give you for, having given back their homelands. In a simple, non-roundabout way, essentially playing the game is progressing in the game. And as somebody that absolutely loves exploration, I am very excited for Crimson Desert, because just stumbling upon some cave inside of BDO is cool. Climbing across mountains in BDO is cool. And having seen the way that Crimson Desert looks, I am pretty certain that doing those things inside of Crimson Desert is going to be even more awesome. Because going into a cave and finding a puzzle there, solving the puzzle and getting some strong new ability or some strong piece of gear that actually improves your combat abilities by quite a lot will just be the natural progression that you have inside of Crimson Desert, which is very, very exciting to me. I'm actually kind of curious if there are going to be any things which they are gonna put into Black Desert after seeing that it works really well in Crimson Desert, or if people are very excited about certain features inside of Crimson Desert, and then now they see a reason for that to also be in Black Desert. Maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up, because to be fair, Black Desert is also over 10 years old at this point, but it is still a game that's being actively updated, and they are still constantly looking into adding new game systems, so potentially... of course, there are certain things you can change about BDO, even though they try at times by adding completely new tiers of gear and completely invalidating the previous gear, but who knows? Who knows? We will see. Something that I haven't talked about yet is the graphics. Of course, the graphics look very nice, but there are some people on the internet worried about that the game might not perform very well, but it does look like that should be an issue that has already been resolved as well, especially with all the footage that looks very crisp, very clean, and it is definitely real gameplay. And the main reason why they don't really have issues is because it's not a game that's just running on Unreal Engine 5, which seems to make everything run terrible. It's a game that runs on their own engine called Black Space, which means they've completely been able to optimize the entire game from the ground up and optimize it in the ways that they need. And even Digital Foundry made a video where they said that the game actually runs 4K 60 FPS natively without any DLSS, so no frame gen, not even up-resing, so just having a nice, real, clean 4K picture at 60 FPS, which is kind of nuts. I don't know at what graphics card that was, but the fact that that is a thing is kind of exciting when you've seen all the different games that are coming out right at this point in time, which just don't even break 50 FPS on my 5080, and you kind of have to use frame gen. Borderlands 4. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that it's not good to be skeptical. It makes sense to wait for reviews to come out, or even to wait until non-reviewers are releasing some footage of the game. Luckily, review-wise, they've said that they are giving the reviewers the game a month before the release, so they will have plenty of time to go and review the game. And hopefully that also means that in that period of time we'll get more and more previews, and we would start to get a more real picture of what the performance would be like, or if there are any bugs or any issues. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good. It does seem like they are very confident in their product that they're releasing, especially with the amount of interviews that they're giving, the amount of footage that they are releasing. I am feeling pretty okay. I mean, to be fair, maybe I am wrong. Who knows? Very possible. And then we can both look back together at this moment and laugh at me, at my foolishness that I thought that this game was gonna just run and launch fine and they were gonna be little issues. But hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully the game just launches with very little issues and actually runs well and proper 60 FPS and 4K. And I mean, Digital Foundry said 4K 60 FPS, so I mean, they don't lie. They would complain about frame timing. They're worse than me. Anyway, I am looking forward to the game. I'm definitely going to be playing it on the 19th of March and probably making some more random videos about it at some point in time. So stay tuned for those, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye. Boop.